ever, ever want to be overconfident. It's racing. When you take that green flag, anything can happen.
You know, I saw some things in front of me that were absolutely crazy. I didn't do anything crazy. I wasn't blocking anyone.
And the people that started behind me, honestly, were insane.
You guys, you're not listening, you're not making notes, you're not doing anything. And when you go out there on track, you're out of control.
If you get a reputation for pushing and shoving on the racetrack and crashing all the time, this will be the highest you get in pro racing.
A lot of people got hurt at this track and got killed here. So think about that as well.
Hey! You're sleeping, man. No? It's not interesting enough for you?
For me, it's complete. You guys driving like idiots. If this happens one more time, if we have one more race like this, I'll pull the plug on the series.
I'd had kind of a craziness for cars my entire life. For me, it's something that's much more than just a hobby.
I just want to race cars professionally. As long as I'm on four wheels, I'm happy.
I want to make a career out of my sport. I want to do this for the rest of my life, nothing else.
This is the first clean diesel-powered series in the world.
This series is for young, non-professional drivers who are entering into a full-bodied stock car, allowing them to go on a track and become a professional racer.
David Jerka, if I beat him, that's just great, you know?
Kenny Miggenmeyer, he's 16, but he's done a lot of karting.
I've always been the youngest, but that doesn't really mean anything.
I'm an Operation Iraqi Freedom veteran. When you're on the racetrack or whether you're in a war zone, you need to be able to put your nerves on the back burner and focus on the task at hand.
Woo!
In a race, when you're in a battle, it's a rush.
I got no problem going side by side with anybody.
It's just a giant roller coaster. Massive ups and downs.
It's not about how much money you have. It's not about having the best mechanic. Everything is even. The best driver will stand out.
If you want to finish first, you have to finish.
Does the world really need another racing series? It does if the series sets out to prove that auto racing can be fast and green.
The Volkswagen Jetta TDI Cup Series was founded based on what they're doing in Germany right now with the Polo Cup. Taking that formula for, a driver development series and bringing it to the U.S., giving young drivers a chance to start their racing careers.
What's up, bro? We have asked young drivers who are between 16 and 26 years old with no professional racing experience to come to the series. We're going to put them through what we call driver selection. We're going to test them on an autocross course. We're going to test them on a go-kart track. And we're going to have a program where we pick what we think are some of the top 30 drivers, put them into the Jetta program, and then run them for the year.
With my age, this is it. Every race I race like it could be my last. Every little bit of funding that I have has gone towards this.
It could be the difference between getting a ride or being stuck on the sideline.
Out of 600 applicants, 100 were invited to driver selection. Only the top 30 drivers will be chosen to race.
Your whole day today is being evaluated on how you manage and handle a vehicle. If you're constantly flying off the track or knocking over cones and things like that, you're going to get deducted points.
First two sessions in the karting went great. It was exactly what we expected from a grading standpoint. It was very easy to see really the best and the guys that were in full panic mode.
Today, there are going to be cuts made, so we want to see who wants it more than the other person.
Everybody comes from karting, and if you're talented in a kart, you're going to be talented in a car. The autocross is a very tight, little technical course. Someone who has a tendency to overdrive the vehicle, it's going to show up real fast.
Who's this number?
This is number 14.
My name is Mark Pombo. I'm 25 years old. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Show you guys our little race shop that my brother and I have been working on for a few years. This picture right here is actually my race car. It's a quarter midget. And my brother's is in the background there. My family has been racing my whole life, ever since I can remember. These are all fenders from race cars that either my brother or I have wrecked. There's a picture on this wall of my grandfather racing in the Pan American races in Mexico. This wall right here is pretty much all my dad.
I used to race motorcycles back in the late 50s and early 60s in Mexico. I used to race in SCCA club racing, and in '85 I won the national championship, and that opened the doors to me. I started racing professional racing and endurance, and continue some of the SCCA pro racing and SCCA amateur.
We've always competed in things, but it's always been a race here, a race there. When my dad was racing and we were little kids, it was whenever dad wasn't racing, we got to race. It kind of all came to a halt when he got cancer. In 1990, my dad was diagnosed with lymphoma on Christmas Day. It was very aggressive cancer, and if they wouldn't have caught it when they did, he would have probably been gone by May. We got lucky. Blessed or lucky, one or the other.
It's a dream come true for many of these kids. We have a Spec Miata. He sold it.
Oh, he sold it to finance it? Oh, wow, he's serious.
He sold his race car to come here. He says, Dad, I'm getting too old. If I don't do it now, I'm not gonna make it. All right, go for it.
If you ever wanted to say, I took a shot, now's your chance. You don't want to be 50 years old or 40 years old or 30 years old or 60 years old and say, hey, what if I would have done that? I wonder if I'd still be an accountant at 50.
We're waiting for the results. We're supposed to know 10 minutes ago, but they haven't said anything. So everybody's over here chewing their fingernails.
I don't want to know the decision here anytime soon. You feel like you make it, but then as soon as you start to feel a little confident, it creeps into the back of your mind, well, was I what they were looking for?
So in Group 1A, we have 2 no's, correct?
So the new order is 8, 79, 16, 77.
I'm pretty happy with what's going on, you know. A couple things that, you know, of course I know I could have done better.
No, they were just saying this is the quietest I've been, well, he said my whole life, so that's pretty good.
I just want to get it over with right now at this point.
I want to thank you all for coming, and without further ado, I'm going to open the envelope. Liam Kinney. Derek Jones. David Jerka. Christopher Castenga. Adam Kretschmer. Chris Holman.
The whole thing seemed surreal. Once I heard my name called by Volkswagen to race for him this year, everything seemed realistic.
Gary Williams Jr., Caleb Kenny, Andy Lee, Jimmy Underhill, Jake Dallenbach, Wyatt Dallenbach, Joshua Hurley.
That was the most nerve-wracking moment of my life. I was beginning to wonder what I did wrong until finally they called my name.
Timmy Megenbeyer, John Shim, Michael Dodino, Nick Mancuso.
Still hope I made it. Still think I made it. Got to keep thinking that till they tell me otherwise.
Evan Flock. Noah Arundel. Juan Pablo Sierra Lindell. Mark Pombo. That is the starting lineup for the Jetta TDI Cup Volkswagen Series starting at Virginia International Raceway. Congratulations to all the drivers.
I'm really excited to be able to do this. This is really the first big thing I've done. Phoenix was awesome. Great time. A little scary at times, but I'm here, so.
Find your gear.
Yep, 9.5. Damn. Sorry, I got a lot of boxes and bags.
Volkswagen deciding to bring a diesel platform to the United States to race is genius.
For the very first time, we're introducing the concept of clean racing. We have to become more green. We have to become more environmentally friendly. We have to think about these types of issues. At the same time, though, we're not giving something up.
You're getting better fuel efficiency. You're getting better emissions out of the cars. 258 foot-pounds of torque, 170 horsepower. You know, these drivers are going to be really impressed when they get in these cars and go. It's going to be perfect for them.
No one's been really racing the diesels, so to be able to represent that in the first year of it, it's pretty cool to be a part of that.
The racing needs to be the leading edge of what people drive on the roads. This new diesel technology is a big step forward. Show people out there the TDI is the wave of the future.
You may hear people use the term motor racing safety. There is no such thing. The sport cannot be done safely. It is dangerous. There are only varying degrees of risk. This is an unforgiving sport, and it doesn't make any allowances for age or inexperience. You want to focus on learning the course today. It's about knowing where your car wants to be, knowing where you need to be, so that you're the first one under the checkered flag.
Baptism by fire. With selection week behind them, the drivers have very little time to adjust before finding themselves behind the wheel of a real race car.
The diesel's awesome. The motor responds just as well as any other race car I've driven.
And these cars have massive amounts of torque. When you step on the gas, you can feel the car go and it snaps your head back. It's a great feeling.
It's a fast track, so there's a lot of potential for you gotta learn the hard way, right?
And some did, to the tune of $7,500. Drivers are responsible for the damage of their car. If you can't afford to fix your race car, you don't race.
When I caught it, I was the apex of 6, and there's another curb there, and it just caught me off guard a little bit and unsettled the car and caused it to slide out and into the tires. The car, it's got a lot of damage. I'm not sure they'll be able to fix it. I may be done for the weekend.
To all of you, well done. I think you all did, all did a good job, especially pole sitter. Well done.
My name's Josh Hurley, and I'm from Cooper City, Florida. I'm 23. As much as it pains me to say it, I wish I'd done this when I was a little younger, but the opportunity's now. I'm still living at home, for better or for worse, because racing's rather expensive, and it's all that I can afford. I started out racing 124 scale slot cars and RC cars, but I never even got into a go-kart until I was almost 17.
The slot cars really helped in a lot of ways that people don't think about. The focus these take is beyond anything you'll ever experience in a car or go-kart. Our laps in these were about 4.5 seconds, and we'd have 10 to 15 corners jammed in those 4.5 seconds. Most people, when you first get in that fast go-kart, you're feeling very rushed, you feel like you have no time. Coming from this, it felt like I had all the time in the world. I've been told I drive like the textbook. I'm always thinking about what I can do to the kart to make it better. If I do this, it's gonna do this, it's gonna do this.
It's been a very interesting journey with Josh. Josh came in as someone who never knew anything about the sport, and he's grown with us in every aspect of what he's been able to do. The driving, the tuning, and there's this whole personality. We feel that we have contributed significantly towards that. This is actually the go-kart that you won your karting championship in the CRG number 88.
I actually had quite a bit of success with that one until right about here. That's what happens when you've touched wheels in a go-kart at 70 miles an hour. We spent a good chunk of the weekend looking for a welder to put it back together. This right here would be my foot, and that would be my head, and they didn't even throw a yellow flag. I was just completely outside the track, and they brought the paramedics over, make sure I was okay. At some point, you're gonna have to hang up the helmet. You can't drive forever and ever and ever. My parents can't afford to put a dime behind my racing effort. Well, this really is my best shot at moving forward.
So we're here Sunday, race day at Virginia International Raceway, the very first race for the Volkswagen Jetta TDI Cup. Beautiful facility here, picturesque, elevation changes for the racetrack. Really looking forward to kicking today off for the first race of the season.
No contact out there. Give your fellow drivers some racing room. This is just an 8-race season. If you throw away a race and you don't get points, it's tantamount to taking yourselves out of the championship.
You realize that in the rule book, the first 2 races pay half of the points the rest of the races do in the rest of the season. Stay on the track, finish the race. You're building your experience, you're building your time in the car.
When that green flag flies, you go racing.
Seriously, like a battle. It was a war out there.
I would let people go by because I was afraid of what kind of damage they were going to do to my car.
Somebody wants that. Yep. Thank you.
I was clear. I was going in, and he just came out on the inside, across the grass, and hit the big tire. And we went the next corner through the tight S's, and the tire popped off.
A guy spun out right in front of me coming off turn 11, and I had nowhere to go. It's a hard crash. My airbag went off and did quite a bit of damage.
Not everybody made the perfect race. The lead swapped so many times. It ended up that I came from 9th to the lead, and then bad strike of luck, just got hit from the rear really hard.
I got shuffled back and forth because some people were just driving so hard. One lap to go, I got handed the race. It was mine to lose at that point.
Flashes across the line, takes the checkered flag. The battle's going to be for second.
It looked like Jones stayed out in front of Underhill there.
I think it was about 15 years ago, your old man and I were sitting on a pit wall at Mosport, and we're talking about our kids. I have a kid with your age, and I said, "Is he going to be a race car driver?" And he said, "Well, I think probably, but I hope not." How's he feeling about this today?
Man, my dad has been my biggest supporter this whole time. This is his dream, not just ours.
My car is unscathed.
We're all
really?
still in there.
Lucky.
Dude, I wasn't even in the freaking
I think everybody else has damage. Juan said it's going to be an interesting driver briefing, so I don't know what that means.
For me, it sucked, okay? It's complete. You guys driving like idiots. If this happens one more time, if we have one more race like this, I'll pull the plug on the series.
Yeah, what can I say? No contact. What happened to that? That's all I saw out there. You guys were running into each other like there was no tomorrow. People banging doors on the straightaway. When did we tell you guys to do that?
Stop watching NASCAR, because I guarantee you guys don't have an unlimited budget.
We're going to review all the footage after this race, and there will be a lot of penalties going into the next race.
We got people lined up to get into this series. So if we see this again, you're out. Very simple.
These are a lot of money to repair. I hope that's a really sharp reminder to these guys out here to start racing clean and to start using their heads.
I wonder what that's going to cost me. I got some damage too that's not my fault either. So.
I am concerned about the crash damage. I can't afford to be wrecking every time.
Right door. Set in the first lap, didn't it? And the sad part about it is everybody was running good. No one was running slow. Some people made some nice, clean passes. I mean, just did a nice job. So we're going to review everything, and we're going to address everybody. So,
thank you.
Okay?
This season should definitely be focusing on all of us becoming better drivers, more and more professional, and just being more respectful of each other. Whoever's the best out of that and does the best, they'll be the ultimate winner.
first race in the record books, the series heads to Canada, where the drivers get their first taste of racing in the rain.
I am a little nervous that some guys are going to go out and not get their tires warmed up. You know, we'll see how it goes.
We went into the drivers' meeting this morning, and they had been warning us about how something was coming as far as penalties for the points goes. And when we went in this morning, there was a list of names. It was either 25% of your points or 50% of your points and prize money. I had a 6-point lead. Now I'm in second place. I lost 7 points.
That race at VIR, that's unacceptable. Banging wheels and putting 2 wheels off on the grass. There's cars all over the place.
If you get a reputation for pushing and shoving on the racetrack and crashing all the time, no one will look at you. I don't care how fast you are. This will be the highest you get in pro racing.
I go with what the SCCA decides to do, but I think the penalty should have been double of what they are.
Penalized drivers forfeited coveted championship points and were moved back on the starting grid for the second race.
They said they gave 19 out of 29 penalties, and I think probably like 12 of those people really deserved it, and I think there was a couple people that weren't on the list that should have been on the list.
I think that penalty, my car was smashed up. You know, you just gotta know where you can do it, how to do it, when to do it.
I'm a little upset about the fact that the biggest incident in the race, the kid didn't get one. But we're gonna talk about that, so we'll see what happens.
Just look at the big picture. We penalized everybody the same for what they did. There's 30 of you guys, so we have to be fair to everybody.
I qualified third this event, and if it puts me back 4 positions, that's 7th. That's areas where you're in the middle of the pack and anything can happen, and I can't afford anything to happen. I have to qualify up front. For me, that's huge.
Is the only way for you to go forward to bang into people?
If I have an accident on the start because I'm in the middle of the pack and it's maybe not my fault.
Half of you guys out here, you know, you think it's not your fault.
Okay.
More than, no, listen. More than half don't think it's your fault. Believe me, I know what it takes to, you know, to get there. And how tough it is, and all the challenges, the money and all that. And that's why I tell you, there was not one penalty given out that we weren't sure of, you know? All right?
As we get down to the end of the year, situations like this mean a lot more. We're going to look back on the beginning of the season and say, hey, those 2 or 3 points that got taken away from me really mean a lot.
Half you guys are pissed off about the situation, and half you guys are, you know, that's what they deserve. Put this behind you right now. If you're carrying any bad or negative feeling, forget it. The only thing it can do is ruin your race today. Let's have a great race. Show Jan, show me, show everybody here in the paddock that you guys are awesome.
I think you got to talk to one driver because he doesn't want to understand or accept our.
Which one?
Number 5.
Your car. The fact of the matter is that we've got to get this on track again, and you're part of the solution to get it on track.
What do you think of the safety for a guy who qualified 18th to be starting 6th now? 2.4 seconds slower than me in qualifying. I've seen races where they did a 6-car invert, and they're always the most carnage-filled races.
I've seen all of that and more. You know the 2 places on the track where you can pass. If you get 18 laps in, you have 36 opportunities to make a pass.
I appreciate you talking to me.
Okay.
Thanks.
Have a good race.
My name is David Yurka. I'm from Federal Way, Washington. I was born in Austria. So when I was 2 months old, I came to the Seattle area, and I've lived there ever since. I have a pretty deep history in racing. My grandfather raced in Czechoslovakia back in the 1950s. He built his own race car, raced it all across Czechoslovakia, and with communism, they took the car away. My father, he ended up escaping in '84 with my 3 sisters and my mom. They flew to America, just absolutely nothing. And when I was 8 years old, my father got me into karting. I've been karting ever since. I've been ranked #1 shifter kart driver in North America twice, just been going at it ever since. A couple years ago with my grandfather's car, I was on Google and I actually found the car pictured at Pebble Beach. So I was shocked to see that it's still around. They couldn't give me the number of the owner, so they sent him a letter, and he called me and said, you know, I sold the car since then to a guy in Seattle. And I'm from Seattle. That's unbelievable.
Does that car look good?
No, huh? What year did he build this?
I was 4 or 5 years old, which is like
1952?
Something like that, yeah.
Can you believe it, seeing this 50 years later?
I still cannot believe it's here.
What did you think?
It's good. Last time when I sit there, it was like more than 50 years ago.
Racing is all about confidence. You have to be confident, though. You have to believe you are the best. And I believe that I can beat everyone on the track.
All right, an exciting race with the Volkswagen Jetta TDI Cup cars. See them all take off down the front straight here. Down corner one goes the field of cars.
Turn 1, massive chaos. Cars just going everywhere. Turn 2, same thing happened.
So yellow in corner 1, 4 cars involved. And now corner 2 also with a yellow flag.
Then it started pouring down rain, and obviously the slick tires have absolutely no grip when it's wet.
The last 3 laps of the race were just really hairy. As the rain's coming down, and I'm just screaming in my helmet, throw the checkered, throw the checkered.
Checkered flag wave. We are done with the Volkswagen Jetta Cup Series. The checkered flag, David Yerka, Chris Holman, and Jimmy Underhill, the top 3.
Dude, I had that. I would be P1 by turn 2 if I didn't got taken out.
I thought it was before, right?
Dude, man.
Where is he? David Yerka.
I think I have the potential to be the absolute best. If I can just be consistent, I think that's the key for this championship.
Today here at Portland International Raceway in beautiful Portland, Oregon. And it's a lot different from the 2 tracks we went to before, VIR and Mosport in Canada. There's no elevation changes, it's real flat, which forces all the drivers to really up their game and really extract every ounce out of the car that we can.
This is when the real racing begins. And the winner of the last 2 races has gotten 30 points. Second place has gotten 24 points. Third place has gotten 20 points. Now we're getting ready to double those. If the top 3 don't do very well in this race, you could go from last to first. If you don't finish a race or something happens to you, it's really, really gonna hurt you.
Hey, grab a tire pressure.
My name is Liam Kenny. I'm 16. Just got my license a week and 4 days ago, so been racing cars for the last 11 years. I started out in go-karts and progressed through the levels. Went through the international levels of karting into formula cars when I was 13. I'm homeschooled. Obviously, it cuts out a lot of the social aspects of life. That makes it tough, but when you're dedicated to the sport, it really doesn't matter.
Right above the fender. Right here. Probably a couple things separate me from some of the other racers in the series, just because I've had a little more experience in life, and life experience helps. I was in college in 2001 when September 11th happened, and I figured what better time to show that you're a man and step up and serve your country than when your country really needs you. So I went to Iraq and ended up driving fuel tankers and water tankers and supply tankers with food and supplies for all the infantry guys, and kind of made the fight be able to happen. We would go out on water missions, fuel missions, delivering out on Iraqi roads where there's bombs laid in the middle of the roads every single day. It teaches you to not let the pressure get to you. When you're on the racetrack or whether you're in a war zone, you need to be able to put your nerves on the back burner and focus on the task at hand.
We're all in this for the championship. If somebody's forcing me really hard and it's a case of a risk of crash, I may take the second place because the points now are absolutely crucial. So I have to kind of find that balance of aggression and common sense.
The halfway mark now, working lap number 13 as they go by the start-finish line. Liam Kenny has now got a tag team match on his hands as the second and third place cars, Josh Hurley and Mark Pombo, are lined up in a slipstream using these two long straightaways here at Portland International Raceway to try to run down the number 35 car.
I blew the start. I got back up to third. And I really had to speed to the fast sections. I really had to speed coming down onto the straightaways. I just couldn't draft by them.
As he came around through the festival, up over the FIA curbing on two right wheels and stayed up there. Mambo very badly wants to take over second place from Kenny. He has not been able to do it.
I came out at the last turn onto the front straightaway like probably an inch from Liam's bumper. So I was literally probably within a foot of his bumper and hit the brakes a little earlier than I thought, so I pulled out to avoid hitting him and going into that turn. I overshot a little bit and got into the side of Hurley, but then coming around that next turn, Liam just tapped my left rear, I think. I mean, I'm not gonna say what happened, I don't really know.
We were right on top of each other the whole time. He kept inching in towards the line again, and that's where I was. And eventually, he just clipped my front end and spun himself off of me. And when you're racing in that kind of situation, what can you expect?
And here comes our race winner. He survived the storm. A great battle, 4 different leaders. Black number 11, the athlete's performance of Josh Hurley, going to be the winner. Second place is going to be Liam Kenny. So it is Hurley, Kenny, and Yurka, the 11, the 35, and the 5 in a fantastic finish for the Volkswagen Jetta TDI Cup.
I'm so elated, it's beyond words. As soon as I saw the checkered flag, I'm still a little bit choking up, but I was pretty close to tears on that last lap.
Let's give it up for Josh Hurley!
I took some lessons I learned earlier in the season about learning to recognize when you're letting the emotions get the best of you and just take a second, step back, think about what's going on, be a little more patient, and it really played out. And that's what this series is here to do, is to teach drivers like myself how to move up.
You know, I was watching it from turn 1, the chicane. From there, it looked like a really good race. Lots of overtaking and everybody giving each other the space that they needed. I don't know what happened at the end. There was a yellow, you know. Mark went off, he got spun out.
I don't really know how it's all gonna work out. All I know is that right now, I make $100 a day at my job as an accountant. I put everything I had to show up here. That accident really put me behind the 8 ball to where I had already taken out loans to do what I was doing. My credit card's maxed out, I don't have any money. Going into work after you blew $7,500 in a 2-second crash and working for a week and making $500 can be pretty downing pretty quickly.
We're here at Lime Rock Park Raceway, 4th race of the Jetta TDI Cup. I'm eager as heck to go this weekend. I can't wait to get out on the track for qualifying.
I came around the track and I was like, man, the car feels really bad. So I came in the pits. I asked them if there's something wrong with the front tire, and they looked down, there were bubbles everywhere.
I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow, because the tires are just gonna get ripped up.
Tire management, man. Take it easy.
Yeah, all right.
This is called delamination. Once this happens, not only do you get a real bad vibration, it also causes that tire to lose huge amounts of grip. We'll have to work a little bit with air pressure to figure out a way to keep the tire from delaminating.
We just wanted to let you guys know that we put all the pressures of the front tires are now up to 26.
Jan is going to go out in the taxi car, and we're doing some different tire pressures front and rear. Halfway through, we're also going to do a chassis adjustment to it. And if that is the direction that we want to go in, we're going to do it across the board to everybody.
All right, here we go.
Lime Rock is the first track where tire management has become an issue. And so many drivers are quick to point out the tire. I mean, look at Michael Danino on the pole. Take a look at his tire. Not a single blister on it. I now more than ever believe it's not necessarily the tire, it's the driver. The drivers that are smooth conserve their tires.
Very challenging. It was good. I enjoyed that.
Jan's in blue, he's going to be your base mark. Obviously, no issues with his tires at all.
My speed at the front straightaway was the same. You guys have got more lock on the exit of the corner than I have in the middle of the corner. I'm driving the car out. My wheels are following the road, they're following the car. You guys on the exit, you know, the car's going that way, the wheels are going that way, and you're pushing the wheels over the, you know, over the tarmac. That's what you're doing. I don't know if you think that it's faster, but it's not. And in the long run, the tires will not last. So, what I was doing here was faster than what all of you were doing.
My name's Chris Castagna from South Boston, Massachusetts. Not really big on the motorsports there, but I've been racing for 10 years. I did a little Porsche racing and some skip arbor, just amateur stuff. Basically, this is my last real pull at going pro in racing, and if I don't, I kind of have to get a real job, and I'm not looking forward to that. I've really been thinking a lot about changing how I'm going to drive the races. Maybe I was just getting, you know, too emotional behind the wheel. It was really about being patient, which is kind of not what I've been doing.
Standing start in the Volkswagen Jetta TDI Cup, and here we go. Michael Danino from his pole position leads the field down to turn one.
Some of the guys here are really, really fast, but they've thrown the cars off the road every year.
Well, we already see a spin there, and that was Adam Kretschmer.
I think you're starting to see some bad blood between some drivers, mainly because they put on that helmet and suddenly they don't think anymore. We've got 2, 3 wide, just smash each other.
Oh, and a problem for Derek Jones in the 42.
Boy, Jones got lucky. He didn't go all the way over there.
I lost a lot of faith in a lot of people today.
I was a lot more conservative at the beginning of the race. I figured if I drive for first place, I'll get away from third and fourth. And it worked, just perfect timing.
Castagna with the move. Does he make it stick?
He gets it done there.
Castagna's in front of me, but not way in front of me right now at points. So yeah, I had a chance with 2 laps to go to get around Castagna. I knew that if something happened, even if it was $4 grand, I might not be able to come back. All I can hope is there's still 4 races left. Anything can happen.
Chris Castagna takes the checkered flag. 4th different winner in 4 different events. Woo!
I know. My tire was gone the second caution. Yep. Oh, I didn't think I was going to make it.
All right, Chris, yeah.
Let's celebrate. A victory for Chris Castagna.
I crashed out within 5 laps. It's just really disappointing for myself. I put up my life savings. I've heard stories of some kids coming from $180,000 karting budgets, and they're like, oh yeah, this is nothing, you know. I hear some family members going, $7,500 for crash damage? That's not that bad at all.
The whole point of this series, set people up, make good passes, don't dive bomb people. I have faith in very little people here. I've seen what happens. It's just not worth it.
We cannot bash each other. It's not a video game, and there's a lot of money on the line. And if we keep on doing this to each other, you know, the guys that are up front that have realized this are going to keep on walking away.
If you see one of those situations coming up, it's best to just, you know, back off, because you can tell if the guys are going to crash. I mean, it's so blatantly obvious when you're coming into the corner.
Hey, let's be honest. You came in up underneath them 3 cars into turn 1, so let's...
I'll try and be as straight up as I can. And for you, Liam, I know that you bumped another guy today. We get sheets from the SCCA after every meeting, and it says, you know, who went off track, who bumped, who, you know, it's on there every time. Your name has been on there for the last 3 times. It's not going to help you here, and it's not going to help you for the rest of your career.
All the drivers remember every turn of every race and every move that someone has ever made. And drivers talk all the time. And there's 2 or 3 guys out here, I'll be honest with you, they have a target on them.
Welcome to the Iowa Speedway. We've got half the season here. 4 races in 15 days. These guys
are going to have trouble fixing your car if it gets damaged very much. So it behooves you to keep it shiny side up and undamaged, because these 4 races are going to determine who wins all of the points.
The big issue with crashing out at Lime Rock, my bill was pretty much near $6,000. And without money today, I wasn't able to even race. I really do want to finish the season. It would just be a heartbreak to come this far, have so much money invested, and just give up like this.
Volkswagen Jetta TDI Cup action from Iowa Speedway. Jimmy Underhill from the pole, a good jump.
Coming to an oval track, I've never driven on an oval, so we're using half of an oval, so that's going to be a bit of an adjustment. And then to go through the tight infield road course, that's going to be a different adjustment as well.
We've had a different winner every race so far, but we have that core group of like 5 guys. And you definitely see with those 5 guys who are the aggressive ones and who are the smart race car drivers. You know, guys like Jurka, guys like Pombo have a lot of racing experience, so are using their heads and are really points racing at this point now.
What a drive by Michael Danino. He's crawled all the way up to the front from 12th place.
This entire series is so close, and it's so difficult to really charge through the field.
Those last 5 or so laps, I saw Danino and Pombo coming up in my mirror.
I'm chipping away back at the points leaders, so that's all you can really do. It's only 8 races long, so you can't have a bad week, and I already had mine.
I was up to 2nd and battling for 1st, and unfortunately I fell back to 3rd.
Well, I was on pole, so I knew if I just hit my marks every time and kept those guys behind me, then I could drive to the end.
Jimmy Underhill, that is a spectacular job.
That was just unbelievable. I couldn't ask for anything better.
From Iowa, we go to New Jersey, where over the next 3 days, the drivers will compete in back-to-back races. They will test not only their nerves, but their cars as well.
The car is great, so we haven't really broken anything, nothing's failed on us, so we knock on wood. All the other things I've raced before, they're so finicky and they need constant maintenance and they need to be fiddled with to run right. And this is, you just get in, you turn the key and you go. It's a piece of cake.
We're getting 25 miles to the gallon and we're doing a whole race weekend on 1 tank. Yeah, it's more than my street car gets.
I wish I had the racing last name, but my family is mostly just professors and doctors. My family has been there for me 100%. They've helped me out nonstop, my sister especially. Like, I can't believe how much support her and her friends have put in.
Okay, let's start them up.
I finally got the money back together and ready to go back out again and finish the season up.
It's a catch-22. It's nice to be able to go out there and just drive balls to the wall. But at the same time, you can't do that if you really have the eye on the prize at the end.
I was up there in 3rd place. I slipped a little bit, but we got another session today, so focus on that.
It's a balancing act. You want to get out there and get aggressive, qualify up front, but in the back of your mind, you're trying to keep your car as clean as possible.
Pretty much just came around the corner and the back end got loose. I tried to counter steer into it, and just the direction I was going, I was traveling so fast that I was aiming straight towards the tire wall, smacked into it with the whole driver's side, the airbag went off. I just paid a chunk load just to come here. I'm done for the year. I'm in. It's
on me. It took 2 races to see the guy that was running top 5 leading the points. All of a sudden, I can't even be in the top 15. I struggle. So they took a look at my car, realized that I had a bad shock on one side, the other side it was quite a bit off. I just lost so much ground in the points, and I have a lot to make up right now.
round 6 of the Volkswagen Jetta TDI Cup, and we are underway.
It comes down to now. This is when we have to perform. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen this weekend.
Now it's time to just go out there. I almost have nothing to lose. Pombo cannot get away from me. So I need to go from 9th to frickin' 1st, 2nd. Needs to be up front. Because if Pombo gets away from me before Road Atlanta, I'm in huge trouble.
There goes Mark Pombo. They did not make contact.
Both races here, I'm going to play a little safe. I think the championship's going to come down to the last race.
First half of the race, everyone raced each other fairly clean. I just picked spots off every 2 or 3 laps. I moved up. There's like 7 or 8 drivers that are in it for the championship. It's just so close. Like, you can't give up.
Look at this battle for second. Oh, and they made contact.
The race was a little rough, but then I noticed Pombo dropped back towards I was. I was able to get by Castagna, who's also in the points. So it was actually a pretty good points race, except for Jurka finishing up front. That puts him 21 points into the lead over everybody.
Good job. Thank you. Good job. Good job.
Oh man, this couldn't be bigger for my confidence. I started 6th and the car was night and day. It was just unbelievable difference. Got a good restart and stayed up there and got first place points.
Jurka is 20 points ahead of Castagna. Castagna is 1 point ahead of Pombo and myself. And then Liam and Underhill are another like 5 or 6 back from us.
I mean, you had free track, clear track. Everybody's so close.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
A few things to go over for this morning. The track's going to be wet. We're going to be the first guys out on track, so use that warm-up lap to see where the puddles are. Don't let it surprise you on your first racing lap. Okay, everybody, safe race, and just think about the next one.
If it rains, you know, if it's anything like the field was at Mosport, I'll be in a much better spot than I am in the garage. I hope it rains, so that's up to God.
We're going to go out on slick tires. We might change the starting procedure, but we're going to go out on slick tires.
Hope it goes caution-free. Charlie won't.
This is a battle for the championship. These guys need to think about, I've got to finish the race, I've got to score points.
It's a huge difference between qualifying in the rain and racing in the rain. It's easy to throw away your entire race with one mistake.
Holy cow, that was close. Come on. Be careful. Come on, guys. Someone give it up a little bit.
Oh, man. Easy. Come on, guys. Nobody's giving anyone any room out there. Oh! Everybody hit everybody.
Oh, Jurka's not going to be happy, huh?
I went out there, went from 23rd to 6th in 5 laps, and they shortened the race.
Behind the pace car, and as they come by the start-finish line, we will end under double yellows.
I mean, I had no time to do anything. I couldn't have got any further up in 6th place. You know, now it's a long shot. I still have a chance, yeah, but it's a long shot to win it.
Liam Kenney behind the pace car. And Hurley, his championship hopes, they are looking very bright right now with a 2nd place finish.
Liam's one of those drivers that everyone wants to beat. He's 16 years old. He's the youngest driver in the series, and I mean, who wants to be beaten by a 16-year-old?
This was the worst race. And he's lucky because he would have fallen to the back or got in an incident like he usually does.
As if the target on his back couldn't get any bigger, Liam's win didn't come without controversy.
I think you passed under yellow, though. What? I think you passed under yellow. I'm not sure. Remember the yellow flag down there? The right-hander, the sweeper?
I never saw the yellow flag, to be honest. He had made a mistake coming into that corner that had left the door open for me, so if they threw the yellow in the middle of the corner and maybe it was just past where I could see it.
Liam was penalized 20 points for passing under a yellow flag.
A little disappointed about the points involved that were lost in it. Kind of a bit of a downer on a way to take a win, but it's still a win.
Going into this race, I had to start 15th because I had a shock problem in qualifying, and that put me midfield, and I knew it was going to be hairy on the start, especially being on slick tires in the rain. I was up to 11th.
Yeah.
And I was behind Andy Lee, who was in 10th, and I mean, I felt like I was miles faster than the guys in front of me.
Pretty hard work.
huge blow for my championship hopes. I went from the lead, and I'm sure I'm going to be outside chance now in Atlanta. So that's racing, and unfortunately, that's what happened.
I don't know what to say. What were you guys doing?
Like, the conditions were hard, and we were on slick. Does that mean that you can bump into everybody and everybody can go and crash into each other? Conditions were hard, and you all drove like idiots. Bang, that's the bottom line.
First of all, I was not driving like an idiot, and I think that if it's wet, we should be on wet tires, and if it's dry, we should be on dry tires. And we shouldn't have to worry about saving the tires for next week. We should just use what we need.
Man, this is not about saving tires. If half of the field was on rain tires and half on slicks, then I would understand. You were all on slick tires, it was tough for everybody. Damn it, drive the car to what it can do.
But I'm saying we're all brand new, and maybe we should just be a little bit more cautious because
so maybe you should also, because you're brand new, maybe you should try and take this in. Listen, listen to what we're saying.
I know.
Are you going to do the same again next weekend?
Driving today?
Are you going to do the same again next weekend?
No, I'm going to drive just as how I've been driving this whole series with no damage, just like I have been.
Good. All right, the briefing's over.
Some stuff's gonna happen in Atlanta. I mean, if it comes down to a last lap going side by side, no one's lifting. It's the last race. You gotta win to get the money, so it should be exciting.
It's the final race on his home track. Mark Pombo pays a visit to the sponsor who kept his dream to win a championship alive.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's the first race, VIR. This is actually the car that got crashed. I don't even race. This isn't the one I'm racing anymore.
So it's gives the chills, It's great.
I haven't seen it in a while. You guys are keeping it clean for me? I feel like I should be leading the points right now, and I'm not. I just feel like I have the speed to win this thing. If it's based on speed alone, I don't want to come across as cocky because it's not. It's just confident. I wouldn't have spent this money if I didn't think I had a chance. I really feel like I got a real good chance to win it still.
All right, track maps. I just wanted to come here. We all know what happened to Shim last week, and this is one of those typical corners again. There's drop-offs and the curbs are pretty high, so it's not all that easy to come back on track when you're at full speed. This is a section, though, where you can gain or lose a lot of time. There's some great brake markers, so use them.
I remember 6 months ago in Phoenix, I didn't think I was necessarily going to make it into the series. It was just like a fight. I wanted to be in this thing, and now here I am. I'm right in the fight for the championship, and I can't think of a thing I'd be more excited for.
With just one race to go and $250,000 on the line, 8 drivers were still in the running to win the championship.
Tomorrow's the big day for us. The points are unfortunately a little closer than what I thought they would be. My main goal this weekend is finish second. So if I do my best and can end up second, I win the championship. It's over, no matter who wins.
There's 5 of us really in it for the championship, but going into this race, my only chance is to try to really beat Hurley. Really, I need to go into this race with nothing to lose and see what I can do.
I don't think too many people here are dirty racers, but if you're leading the race and the guy in second can beat you in the championship if he taps you, $250,000, you might forget to break that corner.
If it makes some contact with someone, it's not the end of the world, We're all men here. We can all take it. And we're all race car drivers. That's racing.
Qualifying was crazy because Juan, Pablo, Sierra, Lindell, and I had a plan to go out together and get a draft. kept blowing it. Somebody would mess up here, there, somewhere on the track. I kept seeing my number board go from 3, 4, 5, 6. I knew there was like 5 minutes left in the session, so I pulled over, and I caught him right as we were going out running the hill, and I got the draft on him, and came around and started finishing right behind his bumper and looked up, and there was a 1. How's that for at the last second? That was crazy, man. That was a crazy session.
Hey, Pablo!
Good job.
Hey! Good job! Give me a kiss.
First off, good job to all of you. That was an awesome session. You all did really, really well. We all know that the championship is still wide open. We know who the guys are, so we're going to be looking, very closely on this one to make sure that nobody's playing games and all that.
Liam shows no respect to other drivers. It's sort of like a nightmare on 4 wheels.
I mean, I've been made out for some reason as the bad kid in the series. Some of the situations, yeah, I may have been involved, and some of it may have been my fault, but it certainly wasn't as much as I'd taken the blame for. And I'm out there to win. I'm not gonna, just give away my positions to keep my car without 1 scratch on it. Penalty's a penalty, but you just gotta take it and move on.
It's the last race. I really have to win. If I have any problems, he's gonna have a big problem, because, I hope he knows what it's like to go into the wall, because that's what's gonna happen.
I don't view myself as a dirty driver. I always try to give room to everybody on the track. At the same time, patience only lasts so long.
There was people getting a little crazy. Knew I had to be smart, had to end up second somehow. Started picking them off one by one by one.
If somebody's blatantly blocking you, you gotta let them know you're behind you. If you have enough confidence to know where your front bumper is, I think you can drive aggressively and defensively at the same time.
I was behind Chris Holman. I wasn't going to pass, and Mark started to pressure me, so I took the pass. And then I was second with 1 lap to go. I knew Mark was going to make a run, because if he can get me and Liam, he was going to do it.
Pablo has to know that he either goes now or never.
I don't view myself as a dirty driver. I always try to give room to everybody on the track. At the same time, patience only lasts so long.
He got to be inside of me. We did a little bumping and rubbing.
The last feeling I want to have when I get out of a car is feel like I ruined someone else's race.
I think he knew once he didn't have it, he kind of let me go on. He wasn't going to take me out.
You did it. I was saving it too.
Good job. Good job.
Sorry to race her up. It was between me and Liam.
I know, once I couldn't get by you, I let you have it. I didn't fight you.
My goodness, what a race he put on. Car number 11 with Easy Kart. This is Josh Hurley. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing next to not only the 2nd place finisher, but this is the first Volkswagen Jetta TDI Cup champion. This is Josh Hurley.
Second place at the championship's not bad. Next year, back into the open wheel world where I came from, and just keep moving forward in my career.
I'm definitely going to be moving on from this series. I'm ready to move up. There are some plans in the works with a manufacturer about maybe doing a bit of speed touring or Rolex GT.
For me, this whole series was a stretch in With crash damage and traveling, I almost spent $60,000. In my head, I had so much riding on this. You know, I'm happy for Josh. He's got a great opportunity ahead of him now. I don't know if I'm going to get another one. It's the main problem. Had some bad luck this season, or I feel like I could have won anyways. So it's just the way it works sometimes.
Hey, you drove a good race. You can't fault yourself, you know.
Hey, can we get you guys to drive these back out in front of hospitality?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Good job.
Unfortunately, racing is an expensive sport. It just so happens that that's the sport that I excel at and that I'm good at. I'm just missing one little component, that's all.
With the end of the series came the beginning of the careers of a few new young drivers, and perhaps something more. Proof that a green racing series is just that, a racing series, and that you can race clean, and well, maybe a little dirty at the same time.
I think that this series will gain more praise as it gets more popular. And all this technology, I mean, it just trickles down into the street cars and will make street cars ultimately more fuel efficient and better as well.
To come here, you know, 5 years ago when I was sitting overseas, it didn't seem like this was possible. I'm glad I got to compete against some great drivers like Josh and David Yurka and Liam Kinney, all these guys. Appreciate it, guys. It's overwhelming. So, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
I think this green aspect is what's going to keep motorsports going. You're going to see a shift back to development with the manufacturers. You're going to see fuel cell racing one day. You're going to see electric car racing. You're going to see clean diesel. You're going to see hybrid. This type of clean racing is going to be the development for the future. It's unbelievable. I could never afford to go pro racing without this series. I also have to thank some of my competition like David Yurka and Liam, and especially Mark Pombo. He really pushed me to go extra hard this year. Mark, thank you. And I'm just at a loss for words. It's unbelievable. Thank you again, Volkswagen of America, for launching my career.